Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gridiron Network Podcast, our debut episode. Myself, I am Lucas. I'm joined by Harry. Harry, how are we doing today?
Oh, very great, Lucas. I'm so happy to get this going, man. It's been over a year, and ever since we talked about it, I've just been very excited to get this going again.
I know, I'm so ready to get into this. So today we're going to be going over a couple different things. We've got some dark horses for the Super Bowl, the playoffs. We've got award predictions, and we finally have NFL football this week. We have the NFL Hall of Fame game, Chargers versus the Lions this Friday. I can't wait to get into it. So we're going to go over a couple players that we want to watch for in that game. And today we're going to start off first with the Super Bowl dark horses. And I've got to say, man, my dark horse, I'm going with the Denver Broncos. You know, there's the obvious choices out there, the Eagles, Chiefs, even a dark horse like the Lions. But I'm sticking with the Broncos. I really liked what I saw from Sean Payton in that offense last season with Bo Nix. I'm a huge Bo Nix believer. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on him, but I think he is Denver's guy. He's going to be their guy for years to come. And I love what they're doing with that offense. They take what's given to them. I love the addition of J.K. Dobbins, Harvey. I love Estime as well. You know, it's not great for fantasy owners to have that many backs in the backfield. But, hey, for a football team, that's exactly what you want to have. Evan Ingram as well, dude, is such an underrated addition. People love to sleep on Evan Ingram because he had drop problems a few years ago. You know, it's not all fixed, but I still think he's such a good tight end for a team that desperately needed a tight end last season. They had no help with that tight end position.
Yeah, it was really bad from that position because I remember they were trying to bounce. I forgot. It was the guy with the crazy long last name. It was Austin. Austin.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, but he just never could work out, and I really do think that was one of the most underrated signings of the offseason because, I mean, this time last year, everybody was crapping on Bo Nix. Nobody thought that he would be as good as what he is now. And I think him and Sean Payton are really just a perfect match for each other. And pairing Sutton with another weapon in Ingram, I think it's just going to be very good for that offense this year.
You know, and speaking of Cortland Sutton, he just got paid. He just got a contract. I really thought he was on the trade block. I thought he was going to be gone out of Denver, and he just got, was it 4 years, $92 million?
Yep, he got a bag, and unfortunately for me, I drafted him 2 years ago in fantasy, expecting what he did last year. So, did he do me a little dirty?
I've been stuck with Sutton.
A little bit, but I'm happy he got a bag because he killed it last year. He deserves it for sure.
You know, and I think what that sets up is McLaurin's next to get paid. I think that's the next guy, especially they're both 29.
What do you think about that real quick? Did you see what he said, what he wants?
I did not see what he wanted.
He said he wants more money than what DK is getting annually. In DK, I believe, I don't want to say exactly, but I think he's getting somewhere between $30 to $33 million a year. So that's what Terry
I don't blame McLaurin.
I mean, here's my thing. Here's my thing with Terry. He's been with this team since literally the beginning. I mean, he hasn't left. They've been so crappy when he was there, and now they finally get a quarterback, and he finally has his best year of his career. And I can't blame the guy for trying to cash in on that because he is about to be 30. I believe he's 29 right now. 29 or 28, but I mean,
yes.
He's close to 30. I can see why he wants that one more big contract. But, I mean, I don't know if he is really going to get all that money, to be quite honest with you. I just feel like it's a lot.
When you look from a team point, it's hard to think about because from a team, he's 29 years old. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's done so much for you, but he's about to hit that hump when receivers start to decline. But he's been there through the thick of it, man. Yeah. He absolutely deserves to get paid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then he had over double-digit touchdowns last year, too. It's just he does ball out for him, and I can see why they're hesitant to pay him, but I can see also why he is demanding all this money.
Even if you just give him a small contract, make it a 2-year contract, but give him a lot of money, you know, kind of meet in the middle there is what I would do.
But that would be, I honestly think that's the best scenario, for sure.
Yeah, so what's your Super Bowl dark horse here?
Yeah, man, let's get into it. Now, this team has had some drama around them, and let me tell you, I wrote all this when this stuff didn't happen. So, Las Vegas Raiders, the first team, Super Bowl team. So now, why do I think that? So this offseason, yeah, it's a dark horse for sure. That's what we're going. It's a dark horse. So this offseason, they brought in Geno Smith. They traded a third-round pick to get him, and then he signed a 2-year extension worth $85.5 million. So that was their big thing. That was actually Tom Brady's first thing to do in that organization, because they said that he was going to be heavily involved in picking their next quarterback, and it looks like Geno Smith is their guy. Other than that, they didn't do or bring in anything or anyone very crazy. I mean, you got Raheem Mostert there behind Genty. Philip Dorsett, the only reason I brought him up is because I know he was on my Colts years ago. And other than that, I mean, he really just re-signed Crosby, 3 years, $106 million. They didn't really have anybody crazy leave either. Just guys like Minshew, Ritter, Amir Abdullah, Alexander Madison. Nobody crazy at all. And it's
now,
just,
unfortunately, Christian Wilkins.
Okay, yes.
Christian
now,
Wilkins, one of those names that is now left.
You will see in here. I will talk about how I expected their defense to be very dominant this year, but that might have changed a little. But maybe not dominant. But do I think they'll still be good? I'll get into it more in a second. So my first really big reason is because Pete Carroll. I mean, they needed a culture change in this team, and this guy knows how to do it. And since 2012, he's only had one losing season. So I really think that he's going to bring something that this team desperately needs. So what do you think about Carroll coming to this team this offseason?
I love Pete Carroll as a coach. You know, before my Bears got Ben Johnson, he was on the top of my list. To me, before we got Ben Johnson, it was Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, and Pete Carroll. Those were the three guys to get in this coaching carousel. So I love Pete Carroll going to Vegas. And like you said, they needed a culture change. They needed something there. And when you look at that offense, not even just talking about the defense, but that offense, just adding Genty is such a huge addition. Because you already have a generational tight end in Brock Bowers. Yep. Now you get a great guy in the backfield, Geno Smith, who's a great game manager. He's not going to really lose you the game. He's going to do just enough to win a game. You know, I love those additions for them. Yeah,
and just with them just bringing Geno Smith and Genty in, you do got Max Crosby coming back. And even though he did miss 12 games last year, he was still tied for most tackles for a loss with 17. So
he's a freak of nature. Dude, I love Mad Max.
So, yeah, exactly. He's such a beast. And just him doing all that and only playing 12 games, I mean, I'm assuming he's going to play more than 12 games. Hopefully he does, but he is just going to tear opposing offenses apart. So let me get into another reason why I think that this team does have the people to be a dark horse Super Bowl team. So let's talk about, first, their newest addition, like I said, Geno Smith. So last season, he finished 4th in passing yards, 13th in touchdowns. And honestly, I really think he shows us that he has what it takes to lead the team. I think Geno Smith was the perfect guy for this team. You don't need nothing flashy. You kind of just need, how could I analogy, like a point guard of the offense. And I think Geno Smith is going to come in and just fill that role perfectly. He has Brock Bowers, obviously, last season. Dude was a monster. He set the rookie record for receptions with 112 catches. And he also had the most receiving yards by a rookie with just under 1,200 yards. So he's just obviously a superstar that is just going to see a ton of work from his new quarterback. And then last but not least, the Raiders selected Ashton Genty with the 6th overall pick. I mean, everybody saw what he did in college. Just over 2,600 yards on 374 carries. That comes out to a very good 7 yards a carry. That led in total, and he also led in total rushing and yards per game. He also led in forced missed tackles. Dude, I can just go on and on about what this guy led on.
He's an animal.
I mean, he fits in. This was a perfect landing spot for him.
You know, the biggest complaint everyone had against Genty was that he was in, the MAC conference. But you look what he did even in the game against Oregon. Yep. And then even in the playoffs when it was clear what the objective was. It was stop Ashton Genty. So his yards per carry wasn't there, but he was still, if you watch the actual film, the actual tape, he was breaking tackles. He was fighting for every yard and getting way more than he should have in the first place. So you put him with Pete Carroll, who we've seen what he's done with running backs in the past. Yeah. I think sky's the limit for Ashton Genty.
Exactly, man. I'm honestly right there with you. And I didn't put him in, but I do want to just say something, like a player to watch. Just Jacoby Myers there, man. I mean, he doesn't get all the hype that he deserves, but he is a really
severely
good player.
Underrated.
Yeah, he is such a good player. I think he will be a fine wide receiver one there. I mean, I say wide receiver 1, but we know Bowers is really the first option there. And yeah,
Yes.
man, that's where I'm at with the Raiders. They're dark horse for a reason, and I think lots of things change for the 4-win Raiders going into this year. And I just really think if they need a lot to go right, but if that does go right, I could see them making a deep playoff run this year, man.
Yeah, it looks like the AFC West is, in my opinion, the division to watch this year, because any 4 of those teams can make a push for the playoff, can make a push for the Super Bowl in some way, shape, or form. Some have a better chance than others, obviously. But I think I like the odds and the direction that all 4 of those teams are heading in now going forward.
Agree.
Yeah, so the next thing we're going to talk about here, continuing the dark horse trend, we're going to be talking about playoffs. And for me, more specifically, the first one that I'm going to go with is division winners. I want to talk about the Carolina Panthers. I think that NFC South is up for grabs. The Buccaneers, in my opinion, are the favorites to win it. But it always feels like something goes wrong for the Buccaneers. At some point, they shoot themselves in the foot a lot. And, whether that be by injury or just by losing games that they should not be losing, I think they shoot themselves in the foot. I think Penix and the Falcons, I like them. I like Penix. I think he's going to be a good quarterback for them, but I don't think he's going to be ready. There's the Kyle Pitts question that's been there every single year.
4 years straight at this point.
I still will, my eggs are in that a Kyle Pitts basket, sadly. I still think that one of these times he's going to pop off.
Have you seen what's going on with him at camp?
I've heard that he's been the main target, right?
Exactly. And that scares me because I didn't want to be in, but now I'm just like, it's just that little part of me. It's like, what if? Like, what if this guy
It's giving me hope that it shouldn't.
Exactly. I'm in the same boat because it's just like, they say that, and I've been totally out on him. I'll be honest, just for years, been totally out on him. But with the new quarterback, you got this whole new offense. It's just, and now they're hyping him up already. It's just like, oh man, I don't want to, man. I don't want to do it. I really don't. But
I've stuck with him in fantasy through all these years, but I shouldn't have, and I'm hoping this is the year it finally pays off.
Dude, I hope, man. He definitely deserves to do something really great because he was just drafted so high. So it's just like, you look at his numbers and they're okay for like just a tight end, but it's just where he was drafted.
But he's not just a tight end. He's really a wide receiver, and those aren't great wide receiver numbers.
Exactly, and it's just they took him so high for him to just really not do anything after his rookie year so far.
And, one thing I always like to point out, because I know some people that like to discredit this guy, and I think he is a true wide receiver 1, Drake London.
Yeah.
I think he is a wide receiver 1. He is so incredibly talented. I just wish he could stay a little more healthy.
Yep.
He takes a lot of unnecessary hits sometimes. But, man, he is so incredible at the point of the ball. His ability to catch contested catches, get open. I just love Drake London. I'll always be a believer in Drake London.
He's a beast, man.
He's up there when it comes to wide receiver 1s in the league.
Yeah.
And then you combine those two, if Pitts does what he's supposed to with, Bijan Robinson, because it is Bijan that we've learned.
I gotta get it right.
So, and obviously he's an animal.
Oh, yeah.
I do have to say that while I do love Bijan Robinson, I have been slightly underwhelmed with him, with how he was touted coming out of college. I was expecting him to be on that Saquon Barkley level, and I think he's just slightly underneath it. And I hope that this is the year that not only breakout, because obviously he's still really great.
Oh, yes.
But I hope this is the year that puts him into that contention.
Now let me say why I think he is going to make that jump. Let me see if I can pull it up here very quickly on Sleeper here.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I can see it.
Arthur Smith, man. We need to talk about this dude because I'm blaming this guy for some of Bijan's career. Because, dude, it's just Bijan,
I don't understand how he has a job still.
Bijan is
How do you see what he did in Atlanta and you give him a job?
There was Tyler Algier who was taking snaps on the goal line instead of Bijan, man. And I'm just like, dude, like what are you doing?
And I like Algier. He's
he's good. He's good. Yes.
But come on, you've got a generational back there.
Exactly. Like when you have,
it's just like how I feel about what's the Ravens coordinator, or he was the Ravens coordinator that just got hired by the Chargers.
It's the God, the dude that runs all the time. What is his name?
Yes, I can't.
What is his name?
I can't believe he has a job.
Yeah, no, wow, that's crazy. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Greg Roman. I just checked
Greg
it there.
Roman. There you go.
I don't know how. You saw what he did to Lamar.
Yep.
And and Harbaugh just loves him for some reason.
Dude, I mean, those Ravens are something, man. I feel like every single year they have the best roster on paper, and they just don't do anything with it. And I honestly really think that for this year, because some of their additions they added to that defense that was already good, it's just I just don't see how they don't win. But
but they're gonna find a way to not
win.
Dude,
first it was, remember that Mark Andrews drop last year?
Oh,
dude,
that was brutal.
That was terrible.
That was brutal. To continue though with why the Panthers are going to win that South, I loved what I saw from Bryce Young, specifically in the back half of the season. One game that I like to point out was that Eagles game.
Yep.
In my opinion, they probably should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
Had was it Leggett that made that drop at the end there?
Yes.
I think it was Leggett.
Uh-huh.
He should have caught that ball. He was supposed to be the guy. I think Tet is now going to be the wide receiver one of this team.
Oh, don't get me started on that guy, man. He's going to be so
I still
good.
Like Leggett.
Dude, I think Leggett is a perfect two. I don't think he's the one. And I think, well, obviously I don't think he's going to be the one, but I think he's better in the role as the wide receiver two than the wide receiver one.
Yes. Yeah, I just think I like what they're doing over there in Carolina, man. I like what they're building. They're finally starting to put some pieces around Bryce. I don't think Bryce was ever the problem.
Yeah.
I think he just went into a horrible, horrible situation there in Carolina where he was just thrown out in the water with no life raft and asked to swim in a pool of sharks.
Let me remind you that Andy Dalton started games instead of Bryce Young.
Yes. And usually I'm not a fan of benching your young quarterback.
Yep.
But it worked.
Yeah, it did.
I'll give it to him. It worked this time.
Winning.
It kicked him in the ass. It got him to go.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm very, very happy that, or I guess not very happy that my Colts brought in Daniel Jones, but just that competition factor, like, it does get you going. Like, it does, like.
How do you feel about that? Who do you think's winning that starting job?
Oh, man. You were talking to probably one of the only Anthony Richardson believers. And from what I've been seeing, his last 2 days, yesterday he didn't get not one pass hit the ground, so perfect. And then today I think he went 9 for 11 with 3 touchdowns. So I think if he can continue to stack up these good camps, then he's easily our quarterback one. And honestly, I really think the only reason why we did bring Daniel Jones in, because if he loses this quarterback battle to Daniel Jones, we wasted the 4th overall pick. Like he should easily be able to beat him out.
Like a last shot.
Exactly. Like he should easily be able to beat him out. And I think that competitiveness is really helping out Anthony, because he is looking like a different quarterback so far this year. Like I said,
I do still think if he gets there, let's say he wins the job, I think he's going to be on an extremely short leash this season.
Because
not only is it his job on the line, but it's the GM.
Yeah.
It's Steichen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Their jobs are on the line with Anthony Richardson, and they're not gonna. It's kind of like how I felt with Justin Fields and Caleb Williams, right?
Yeah.
I love Justin Fields, but you couldn't risk Justin Fields being your quarterback again when your job was on the line.
Man, I was team Fields so hard, man.
It was painful. But I do think we made the right decision.
The guy, man. Oh yeah. Did you guys make the right decision? 100%.
I'll still always support Justin Fields, and I'll always root for him.
That's exactly. I'm in the same boat as you. And
he was supposed to be our guy.
Yep.
To me, he embodied Chicago at a time where we were garbage for so many years in a row.
Yeah.
And we were still garbage with Justin, but we were excited. We were like recycled.
It was fun.
We were exciting garbage.
Exactly. Right? He was so fun to watch. You got the
he gave us moments.
Dude, remember the 49ers game? Him diving in the rain? Like, come on. Like, that was just...
The Dolphins game when he set the QB single game rushing record.
Dude.
I mean...
I'm rooting for him, literally, whatever team he goes to. I really do hope it works out.
I hope he turns it around on the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be the Jets.
Hurt, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but he's a tough kid, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's played through so many injuries in his time that even with a dislocated toe, he's fine. He's gonna play through. He could have broken his toe and he'd play through it.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see what he has there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. These younger quarterbacks that like I really do hope that Bryce Young takes his next jump going into this season.
Yeah, I think he will. I don't know if it'll be a jump like you know how Jalen Hurts took that real jump.
Yes, yep.
I don't think it'll be something quite like that.
Yep.
But I think it'll put him into like the borderline top 10 talks.
Yeah.
Maybe top 10, top 15 talks. But he's gonna be a top half quarterback after this season.
I hope so, man. I was really rooting for him since he got drafted there. So I'm hoping that Canales, I mean, he's killing it up there too. Like, I really think they're going to be fine. I really do think that they're going to
Bryce is such a likable guy.
Exactly.
He's such a likable guy. You see these press conferences he's doing. He's always going around asking everybody questions before he even starts. How can you not root for a guy like that?
Exactly, man. I really do hope they can figure it out this season. And then,
so what's your next win here, or your next dark horse?
All right, so my next dark horse playoff team will be the New England Patriots, and I have multiple reasons because of, let's see who they brought in this offseason. So far, this offseason, the big additions, it was very obvious that Drake May needed weapons last year. It was really just him and Hunter Henry. That was really it. And this offseason,
every time I turned on that TV, I felt like he was scrambling for his life.
Literally, every single time. And they didn't even have a good offensive line last year either, so he really was running for his life. But this offseason, they brought in Stephon Diggs, and you could have very mixed opinions about Stephon Diggs. Personally, I don't think he is washed. A lot of people thought he had nothing in the tank last year when he went to Houston, and even though he did get hurt and missed large amount of the season, he still showed that he was good enough to be a wide receiver one. And I mean, I really think that is all that May needs here. They brought in Stephon Diggs. You brought in Matt Collins. Obviously, he's not a game changer, but just another guy in the room. Re-signed
better than what they have.
Exactly. Yes, they re-signed Austin Hooper. I think obviously Hunter Henry's the guy there, but Hooper's still a quality tight end. And then to help out their big problem, which was a line, they signed Morgan Moses, 3 years, $24 million. They signed, where was it? Who did I want to really speak on? Oh, yes, a defensive side. When they signed Harold Landry for 3 years, $43.5 million. I really think their edge needed some help last year. I think that's a great signing. And then they got Milton Williams. Who is that? I didn't know up until he signed this contract, because he signed a 4-year, $104 million deal. And I remember at the time.
It, man.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Once I was like, oh, crap, who's this guy signing for this much money? And I dug it and looked at like his stats. I'm like, oh, okay. I see why they had to pay him that much. Because, I mean, they had the most money.
He was a dog in Philly.
Exactly. Like, they had the most money coming into, or actually, I don't know about the most, but I know it was up there for the most to
spend. They were up there.
Yeah, for the most to spend in free agency. And, I mean, I really think that they did it really good. Like, you signed Carlton Davis, 3 years, $60 million. And then just let me pull up this draft. They drafted a dog in Will Campbell. That dude literally said
absolute
he's
animal.
willing to die for this, like, Drake May.
That is everything you want to hear from what is going to be your franchise tackle.
That's how you know he is locked in for the next 10 to 12 years as their starting dude, because I really think he's going to be that guy. Like, I really think he's going to be a beast of a player there for them, man. And then just in the second round, you bring in Travion Henderson from Ohio State. I mean, he's a dog.
I was shocked when some of these running backs in this class were falling where they did.
Oh, yeah.
Because this was a loaded running back class.
It was
there's so much talent.
Yes, exactly.
I even like with the Bears getting Kyle Monangai in that late round. Like, that's still a great running back.
I think
there were so
Roschon's
many
going to
good
be
ones
involved this year. But wait, like I said, we'll talk about the Bears a little later, so we'll get right back into that. But even in the third round, the Patriots selected Kyle Williams, and that's all I've been seeing so far on Twitter, just these camp highlights, is May to Williams. So I really do think that the Patriots are putting May in the best position to win them the games. And I can't, what was their line? Their line to over under was either 8.5 or 7.5. And I just think that's a huge jump. And I really do think that they can do it. Mainly because you just brought in Mike Vrabel. And I believe, coming from a Colts fan, I think he got screwed out when he got fired in Tennessee. Now,
100%.
I say that,
a scapegoat.
yes, exactly. I say that because he joined them in 2018, won four straight years of winning seasons, and then has 2 down years. But that's just like 7 and 10, 6 and 11. Not like
it wasn't worth firing.
Dude, and I think their quarterback at the time was Ryan Tannehill. Dude's not even like in the league at all. So it's just
Tannehill was great that one year with the Titans.
He was exactly. Yes.
That one year they went to the conference championship.
Yeah.
That year he was great.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it just wasn't that.
Exactly. And I really do agree with you. I think Vrabel he was a scapegoat. They needed something.
Yeah, and sometimes it sucks, but that's how it is. There is a scapegoat. There's always a scapegoat in some way.
Exactly. And with him now, former player for the Patriots as well, I think he's just going to bring a whole new culture and an attitude that this team needs. And like I was already saying about Drake May, he's going into year 2, and he had a rough but encouraging year 1. So May, like I said, I think he had arguably maybe the worst surrounding cast around him last season. Hunter Henry was the receiving yards leader with 674 yards, followed by Demario Douglas with 621. I think Demario is the one receiver that they should keep from last year's bunch, but other than that, man, I send everyone else packing. That's where I'm at.
There's one guy as well that you didn't mention from last year that I think is worth giving another shot.
Yep.
And that's Keyshawn Boutte.
Yep. He's doing good.
I was high on Boutte coming out of draft. I've heard he's doing good, like you just said, in camp this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's worth giving him another shot because I do think there's something there. Is it wide receiver 1? I don't think so. But I think he could be a good wide receiver 2 or 3.
I was going to say, when you said probably not a wide receiver 1, I think it's good just to throw him out there because he really did have all the potential coming in.
He did. I don't remember why he fell in the draft.
I was hoping you would because I was going to say something about that, but I didn't remember either. I knew there was something, but I did like him in college. And then
I was shocked.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but this year, just May has all these offensive additions. Like I said, you got Stephon Diggs, Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams, and you still do have Ramondre Stevenson there. And I just think he was
another
good.
underrated guy.
Play. Yeah, like he just got paid. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, and he's a good player. So I really do think him and Travion are gonna just split.
That's a great 1-2 punch right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's gonna work out really nice for May, and that's just all of these are just massive upgrades for May, and his dual threat abilities really should allow him to take that step this year. And I just really think the key to winning these games. Or the key to start winning these games is pretty easy for the Patriots. Number 1, protect Drake May. You need to protect the guy. He can't be running. Like you said earlier, every time you turned on the TV, he was running for his life.
Yes.
You need to protect him. You need to give him weapons. And we just talked about his weapons. And I really do think they also added very great protection like we talked about. And I really do think they're going to be dogs, man. If they can just give their quarterback some help, I really do think this team can easily get into the playoffs.
I do think they are a great dark horse. The one thing I will say when it comes to the Patriots is they're in a tough, not only a tough conference, but a tough division to be fighting for playoffs. And that's the one thing that I would knock on them. I do think they still have a chance. Biggest guy I'm a fan of on that team is Gonzo.
Yep.
I love Christian Gonzalez. I loved him coming out of Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he went to a great place. Despite, the experiment with Jerod Mayo and how poorly that went, that was a great decision that was made.
I agree with you. And then I do want to ask you real quick here because I'm very interested to see what you think. That AFC East, so you got the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. what do you rank those for? If you had to say where they're going to finish, where do you put those for?
I'd have to really do my research to really give you a set four.
Yes,
but
yes.
just off the top of the dome here,
Yes.
I think the Bills are the undisputed one.
Yep, I'm with you.
I do think this year I'm gonna agree with you here. I'm gonna ride the Patriots hype train.
Yep.
I'm gonna put the Patriots 2. Now you know what? I think Dolphins are gonna have a bad year. I'm going Jets 3, Dolphins 4.
Ooh, I love that. That'll be very interesting because I think their coach is definitely on the hot seat as well already. So if
Yeah,
they
Mike
really
McDaniel.
Don't get it, yeah.
I love Mike McDaniel. But
exactly. As a person,
it's not
dude,
working.
he's so awesome. He's so entertaining every time I see him. But it's just like that
I
experiment.
do think he'd
is
get
not
another
working.
shot,
Oh, I agree.
but not in Miami.
Yes, I agree. I think, honestly, I really do think my 4 would be exact same. I think I'd go Bills, Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins. And I put the Jets at 3rd in I really think they could be higher than that too. I really think this division is going to be pretty good this year. I think it's going to be competitive.
I think the big thing with the Jets is, one, I'm a huge Justin Fields guy, but
Exactly.
2, Aaron Glenn.
Yep.
I'm a big, when it comes to my head coaches, if you're not going to be an offensive play caller, you got to be a big culture guy. And he's coming from Detroit.
Yep.
He's going to be a big culture guy.
I was going to say.
And I think that's desperately what
Yep.
the Jets needed.
Literally perfectly said, because I think, what Jets, I can't remember exactly what Jets player it was that said this, but I do know that that was the one thing that they said about him. It's just how this culture is completely changing because of him.
And they've got players on that team that are great and are ready to explode. They just need the right pieces around them. So I'm hoping that these are the guys around them to start doing that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then also we did have some news come out about 13 minutes ago here. So it looks like Trey Hendrickson is ending his holdout, even though he still doesn't have a new deal. No, does not have a new deal yet, but he is still planning to report to the Bengals camp on Wednesday.
Wow, man, I don't know what the Bengals are doing.
Dude, their owner is not the brightest guy. That's all I'm going to say.
He's not. Hendrickson was the sack leader, right? Was it this year or last year? He was the sack leader.
I believe it was this season, yes. It's just,
your defense is so not good.
Dude,
and you have a piece there. Pay him.
Just how he's just running this whole contract thing between Hendrickson
and with Shamar Stewart,
bro. It's like, dude, the guy was about to go back to school and get drafted next year because you couldn't sign your first round talent. Like, it just, I don't know, man. That team, I think it's quite poorly ran, but I mean, they need to figure it out when you got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins on.
I was gonna say, the one thing I will say as a non-Bengals fan, as a non-even AFC North guy, it's going to be some very entertaining football when the Bengals are on TV, because it's just going to be offense,
just
offense
shootout after
all
shootout,
day.
man. That's literally all
Which
it was.
is great TV.
Yes.
But I would hate my life if I was a Bengals fan.
I think
because every week you're going to be on the edge of your seat.
I believe, oh man, I knew there was a game last year where Burrow might have thrown 4 touchdowns and they lost, and I'm just like,
I think there were multiple.
Yeah, dude.
Burrow had a great year.
Dude, he did have a great year. He had such a great year.
Chase was a triple crown.
Yep.
I mean, and I love Chase Brown.
Oh, dude.
Chase Brown's a great running back.
Man. He's a beast. And then still you got T. Higgins there as well.
Who you also just signed.
Exactly.
And then
you got Gesicki there at tight end. And then I know they brought in
Irv Smith, right?
Yes, I believe they signed him, but they just brought in, who did they bring? Noah Fant, recently released.
Yep, they were just bringing in Noah Fant for
as well,
visits.
Too. And I think, man, that offense is just scary. It's just, when you have your local McDonald's
can the defense
employees
get one stop a game?
Defensive, people, it's not going to work out. It really is.
Nope, not at all.
But, I mean, we'll see. But, hey, good news that he's finally reporting back to camp. That is what you want to see. And that is just very good that he is not completely shutting out this team, even though they do not want to pay this guy.
Yeah, so to get into my next, my last dark horse for the playoffs, and this one, the first two I felt like were more real dark horses. This one, I still think it's a dark horse because they're not the favorites, but I wouldn't go as far to truly call them a dark horse, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
I'm really big on the Jaguars this year, and trust me, when it's come from me, I have been the biggest Trevor Lawrence hater since he was in college.
Really? Never liked him, huh?
I'm a Notre Dame guy. I don't like
Okay.
Clemson.
I gotcha.
I always thought Trevor Lawrence was a product of his environment. In high school, he was on great teams he won. In college, great teams he won.
Yep.
He goes to Jacksonville. He's not on a great team. He looks good, but not great. But I think that's the thing is this year they've put great talent around him. And I think with great talent around him, he's a great quarterback. So I think he's going to make that jump to look like what we thought he was going to look like coming out of college.
Yep.
And I like Liam Cohen. I thought he was one of the better play callers in the league. So to put him in Jacksonville, I think,
they got
when
weapons
you have the
there too, man.
firepower.
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. is an animal.
He is a dog.
Yeah, Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
You still have ETN and Tank Bigsby. I mean,
and also one more name to throw in
division.
there. I gotta say, man, because fantasy football Twitter is crazy about this guy. Can't remember how to pronounce his first name, but it's the running back Tootin. Because yes,
I think it's bait.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I know it
butcher it,
starts
but I
with
think
a
it's
B.
bait.
I knew it was something like that. I just didn't want to butcher that.
I've heard his name since he got drafted.
Exactly.
All off season.
And
Watch out for this guy.
Exactly, dude. Everybody is so big on this guy, and when you do have running backs like Tanks Bigsby and Travis, I almost said his brother or Travis Etienne. Then
Yep, there you go.
I really think he still does have a great opportunity to be that guy.
Yes, yeah, and one thing that I think is going to play really into the Jaguars winning that division is the Titans. I like Cam Ward, but they're not ready to take that jump.
100% agree. Yep.
We've got the situation with Richardson and Jones, and I think you guys are going to be good.
Yeah.
But I realistically see about 7 to 8 wins.
Yeah, I think
it could be more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what I would aim for, and I think we're going to see a slump from the Texans this year. I think Stroud might still have a good year. I wouldn't say it's going to be as bad as it was last year.
Yep.
But I think you look at what they've done this offseason, and it's just question marks all over the board to me.
Mm-hmm.
The line was your worst thing. It got worse.
I didn't understand that. I'll be very honest with you.
Not much talent around them. I like Mixon. I think Mixon's a great running back still.
But you see his news
Tank
now?
Dell. Oh, it did. Don't tell me more came out about Joe Mixon.
I don't. It's looking
What
like
happened?
he will not be ready here anytime soon.
Damn.
So that leaves.
Tank
Let
Dell
me
also
get.
won't be ready, right?
Oh, I think they said he's missing the whole year.
The whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you look at it and it's, what are they going to do for C.J. Stroud? They might finish 3rd or 4th in that division this year.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
I think they might be looking at a top 10 pick.
It's like it's just they have so much stuff that is already gone wrong for them. I think like trading Tunsil. Why? I really don't understand.
That made no sense at all.
No, their O-line sucked, so why get rid of your best guy? And now you have, here's the report, so running back Joe Mixon dealing with a foot injury and is going to be out for an extended period of time. They're going to be cautious with him and will be reevaluated before the season with the hope of him getting ready to go.
So it sounded like
Nick
probably
Chubb's
like
the
a
guy.
week 3 or 4 thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Nick
In
Chubb's
which,
the guy for
if
me.
you're relying on Nick Chubb in 2025, it's not a great thing to be relying on.
After that
I love
gruesome
Nick Chubb.
injury.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
injury was brutal.
Yep.
And when he came back last year, he just didn't look like Nick Chubb.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's now you got Damian Pierce too. I mean, welcome back, Damian Pierce, because
Pierce isn't awful,
opportunity
but
right
he's
here,
not
man.
an RB1.
Exactly, and I really do think like he does have the opportunity to take over the RB1 for this team because we don't know what Chubb
He
is.
does.
We really don't. And then you look at the pass catchers there. You got Dalton Schultz there. Whatever. Dalton Schultz, whatever. And then
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. It's just whatever. And then you got Nico, obviously one of the best receivers in the league. I really do think, for fantasy-wise, I think he's going to be like a top 2 guy this year. I'm drafting him like that. I just think
For the Texans to win games this year, that's going to be the key.
Yeah.
Is Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud to just be on that, almost like that that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase level.
Yeah.
That's what they have to be to even win, in my opinion, 6 or 7 games this year.
I know. I 100% agree with you. They brought in some pieces. I know they brought in Christian Kirk. They brought him in.
Yes.
We don't know what he's going to be.
I don't think he's bad. But...
Yeah, exactly. He's decent. I think he's decent. And then you did draft two rookies, which I mean, just rookies are always a question mark year one into an offense.
I do like Jaden Higgins.
Yep,
I
agree.
think that he's going to be good for them.
Yep. He's the one I'm drafting in fantasy right now.
Yes. Yeah, me
bench
as well.
Player for now. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But I still like when you look at their draft picks from this year, they took one offensive lineman.
Yeah, makes zero sense.
I just don't get it at all.
Now, we'll see. We'll see with that team, but I definitely do agree with you that I really do think Jacksonville could outperform the Texans.
Yeah, I really think they're going to run away with that division this year. They also have the sixth easiest schedule in the league this year. So they have that going for them. You know, just like the Panthers earlier when I was bringing them up, I forgot to mention they have the seventh easiest schedule. So that's what I'm really leaning towards when I'm looking at my dark horse teams. It's not only how's the situation around you, but how's the schedule lining up, because that plays a huge thing there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think schedules are very, very good to look at because my thing is I'm very heavy CMC this year. We'll say that for fantasy. And people are like, oh, CMC, he's got all these problems, all these injuries, and I'm like, yes, but also since they were last in their division this year, they have one of the easiest schedules in the league. So I'm like, I agree with you. I just think looking at their strength of schedule is just a huge thing to do for this part.
I've got San Francisco maybe winning their division, but at the very least getting a wild card spot.
Yes,
because
we're going
of
to
just
see
how easy that schedule is.
Yep.
And look, it's Kyle Shanahan. He's gonna, Brock Purdy's gonna do enough to get the job done.
Yep.
You've got CMC back and healthy. I like Ricky Pearsall. You got rid of Cheeseburger Debo. I mean, I like what they've got
Double
going
cheeseburger now, based off these pictures.
At this point,
man, that dude looks
the routes I've been seeing him run, we're getting close to triple range.
yeah, seriously. We might have another Eddie Lacy here very shortly.
We might.
So we will see. But I do agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And then we guess you want me to get into my team here? My last team?
Take your last one.
All right, let's do it. You're quite familiar with this one. My last dark horse playoff team, Chicago Bears. Now,
let's go, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Coming from me.
Keep it coming.
Listen to this. Now, so who'd we bring in? That's what first thing I like looking at. Who'd we bring in? Who'd we lose? So the Bears really only lost. I mean, nobody super crazy, to be honest with you. You lost
Keenan Allen.
I was about to say you lost a pass catcher in Keenan, but we can see now he's not even signed. I think he's just waiting out to see what receiving room looks good for him.
Which I will say, Keenan Allen was Caleb's safety blanket last year. I think that is something we will miss this year.
Yes.
But I think it's worth it when you look at the upside at the receiver position.
Exactly. I am huge on Rome this year, man. I really do think. I don't know. I just, with Ben Johnson coming in, who do you think is going to be the wide receiver one there?
I think it's Rome. I
agree with you. Yeah, I'm right there.
From what I've been seeing in camp, DJ Moore has been lining up at running back sometimes. He's been lining up in the slot, the outside. And all I've heard is that he loves Rome Odunze.
I really do think he's going to be, like you said, I've been reading the same thing you've been seeing. He is just literally just killing it in camp. Their wide receiver one, I believe. And for fantasy, man, I'm just so I want to take one of those receivers.
I do have to say, as a Bears fan, I'm staying away from Bears wide receivers in fantasy this year. Now, I took Luther Burden in a dynasty league, but in terms of if I'm just doing a one-off year league, I'm staying away from Bears wide receivers because I don't know where we're gonna go.
Yeah,
and I do think that all three are going to get equal target shares. But not only are you looking at those three, you got to think we've got DeAndre Swift in the backfield, who's going to be a pass catcher, and we've got two great tight ends in Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
So I'm staying away from Bears offensive players in fantasy this year because I think the ball's going to be spread around a lot.
See, it's just I'll play devil's advocate here. Here's my thing. I think if this offense is just somewhat of what it could be under Ben Johnson, somebody in this offense is just a fantasy gold mine. And it's just, right now, I am very, very, I'm struggling to think who that's going to be. I do like Rome.
Yes.
And I also do like Swift. But I just, other than those two.
See, I'm staying away from Swift.
Okay.
From what I've heard.
Okay. Okay, can I ask what you heard? Because I'll be honest, I was very out on him, but one of my good friends as of late has been convincing me a little bit more about him for fantasy. That's why I'm switching a little bit. But let me hear what you
I do have to say, when it comes to fantasy, he might be a good RB2, lower end RB2, because I think he's safe because he's going to be a pass catcher.
Yep.
But I know Ben Johnson's not a big fan of DeAndre Swift.
Exactly.
We've seen it in Detroit, and from what I've been seeing around here, it's kind of that same situation. I think it's going to be the Roschon Johnson show. I really think this is the year that we're going to see Roschon Johnson. Even Kyle Monaghan featured a lot this year. I like Eric Bieniemy being our running backs coach.
Yep.
I think that's a great guy to have in the room to really push these guys. But I just don't trust DeAndre Swift. I think he lacks some running back vision.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's the worst in the league, but it's not there. Sometimes he tries to force things that aren't there instead of taking the easy gap that's right in front of him for the easy 3, 4, 5 yards. He wants to make that big play. He reminds me almost of like Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
Of the dollar store Tariq Cohen in a way, because Tariq Cohen made those plays, right? I really didn't see DeAndre Swift make those plays last year outside of once or twice. So I would stay away from him.
Well, no, I definitely agree. And honestly, before he was slightly convincing me on Swift, I really did think, man, I need to see Roschon, man. I need to see him. He's just, I really think he's just a beast. And I just need to see him getting more.
I think at the very least, Roschon this year is going to be the David Montgomery of the team.
Yeah.
He's going to be the goal line guy. He's going to be the short yardage guy. But I think he's going to be more than that this year. But I think that's the safe floor for him, is that he's probably going to score most of our rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I definitely do agree with you. So let me get more into why I think here that the Bears are a playoff or a dark horse playoff team. So first off, I mean, if you would have asked me this question last year, I probably would have put the Bears right back here. I thought they were a dark horse team last year, and
we are off-season champs,
dude,
3 times now.
Exactly, and literally 1 year later, once again, here I am talking about how the Bears had one of the best off seasons, and it's just the question. I feel like that for that is just, will that equal to wins? It's just that's what you're playing for. I mean, you can have all these off-season champs as much as you want, because I mean, last year I thought they had the best one too, and this year they had a great off-season. So, I mean, it's just they need to equal wins. So let me first talk about the big addition here, Ben Johnson. So you finally got that offensive mastermind. He's been in the top 5 of scoring since he started his OC role in 2022, and I really think just that this was just the first big change that the Bears needed to do this offseason, just to finally give Caleb Williams a coach that will, stay. I mean, I really feel like that's just what is most important.
Man, I can't believe some of the Caleb Williams slander I hear. When you look at the situation that guy was in.
Dude.
He had 3 different play callers last year? 2 or 3?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly. Because, we had Waldron. We had, I can't remember his name. Was it Bryant? Thomas Bryant? Thomas something,
I can't remember the second one. I remember Waldron for sure.
But it's like we had so many play callers, and for a rookie quarterback, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
No, I'm right there with you. It's just Caleb had to deal with so much change for his first year. So having what should be now a stable head coach in Ben Johnson, I mean, it's only going to help. So, I mean, now I think let's get into what Chicago needs the most for this to happen. And I really think it's just Caleb Williams' positive progression. So he had a solid rookie year, I thought. Just watching him play.
Yeah, it wasn't bad by any means.
Exactly. Watching him play, you see that he passes the eye test. You see the flashes, and you can also see the inconsistency. Now, for example...
He did cause a lot of problems,
exactly,
I will say.
Exactly. My thing with him, I went to the Bears and Colts game this year, and some of these plays where I see him escaping the pocket, I'm like, dude, who else? How many people can do that in this league? How many quarterbacks can do that in the league? You definitely, you see the flashes, you see the talent, but then there's times where he's doing all that and just throwing a crazy wild pass that gets picked off. It's just he just needs to not be as inconsistent, and I really do think that this team is just going to start winning games. I mean, you saw last year he set the rookie records for pass attempts, completions, yards, and passing touchdowns. And he also broke the franchise record with 4,030 total yards. Never happened before. So there we go.
Now we just need 4,000 passing yards.
Exactly. Like I said, like the talent's there. You see it every single week. But could Caleb and the Bears do enough to, can he take that next step? And obviously, I think he can. And I really do hope you do too. John, you're
you know I do. You know how I feel about him.
So,
I think he's definitely taken that step this year. I do think some people that are putting him in MVP talks, that's a little too much.
A little crazy. I agree.
Obviously, I would love for that to be the case, but I'm going to be realistic. All I ask for is 4,000 yards, man.
Yeah.
You could have 4,001 yards for all I care. Just hit that mark.
As long as he hits.
And it's a win in my book.
Nah, dude, I agree with you. And some other things the Bears did that I really did like, they spent some money this offseason to revamp their offensive line. They traded for and extended Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. And you signed a good center in Drew Dalman, I thought, and traded for, and extended Jonah Jackson from the Rams.
Yes.
We knew that was a big problem.
Who had a bit of a down year.
Exactly. We did have a bit of a down year. But
I still think he had his best year with Ben Johnson in Detroit.
Exactly. And how much here did you, what was it? Yeah, just a 1 year
it was
extension.
a decent penny.
That's what, yeah. So, I really do think they are trying to do everything they can for Caleb, and I'm very happy they finally addressed this O-line, because I feel like we could go back to the Fields days and talk about O-line problems.
We could probably go back to the Trubisky days.
Yeah, literally, that's how long.
It's always been one of our Achilles heels.
Exactly.
I feel like ever since I was younger watching, even Jay Cutler there, the O-line was a problem.
Yeah, no, dude.
Outside of guys like Kyle Long, but those are, rarities with the Bears.
That is literally it. But yeah, so not only did the Bears make these moves to protect Williams, they also made some moves to beef up their defensive side of the ball. About to botch this
Yes, I'm glad you wanted to bring that up.
Yes, let me talk about some of the people they signed. They signed Deo. Listen to this. I'm about to Deo Odeyingbo. I think I almost nailed it. To a 3-year, $48 million. Yeah, exactly. Good enough. 3-year, $48 million. And then you signed Grady Jarrett to a 3-year, $43 million. And you extended Kyler Gordon. So,
yes.
I do want to hear what you think about that defensive side of the ball now.
So I think the biggest thing with the defensive side that you didn't mention is Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
I love the signing of Dennis Allen as our defensive coordinator, and I have heard nothing but great things. That defense has been giving our offense hell in training camp so far. From everything I've seen, Ben Johnson has been praising that, Dennis Allen's ego is up there because he's been giving them hell.
No,
and
that's
awesome.
That's what you want to hear, man.
Because as bad as a head coach as Matt Eberflus was, he was a good defensive coordinator. So I'm glad that we're not going to be taking, on paper, that step down on the defensive end, defensive side of the football. I really hope that Montez Sweat's able to take a jump this year because he's been good for us, but he hasn't been what we wanted when we traded a second-round pick for him.
Agreed.
So I'm hoping he can take that step. I love Javon Dexter. I'm a huge Javon Dexter guy. I think he is when that draft class with him and Jalen Carter, I would have done anything for Jalen Carter at that point.
Yes.
But
you're happy with
when you look at the production, I'm really happy with what we have in Dexter.
Happy with what you got, for sure.
And I think Grady Jarrett, while up there in age, he's still really productive.
Yep.
And he's going to not only help teach Javon Dexter, but we still have Zach Pickens behind him as well, who I think is a guy that I still have hope that he can develop a little bit more.
Yeah. No, man, I'm right there with you. And I do have to ask, because I'll be honest, I did completely forget you guys got Dennis Allen. And I don't know if people remember, yes, he was a terrible head coach, but when he was their defensive coordinator, man, he was a beast.
That Saints defense.
Yeah, exactly. He was a beast there.
It was good.
So,
I think one of our most underrated aspects is our secondary.
Yeah.
Kyler Gordon is, in my opinion, one of the best nickel corners in the league.
He's a dog.
I think Jalen Johnson's a top 5 corner. I think Tyreek Stevenson, is a good corner. I think he's going to be great. I just think that Hail Mary, man.
Dude.
Not only was it an idiot thing to do,
it killed
his confidence.
It ruined the season.
It killed his
confidence. Literally ruined it.
Yes.
Dude,
So not only did it ruin our
Uh-huh.
season, it ruined his as well.
Exactly.
And I think that he's going to bounce back this year.
Yeah.
Jaquan Brisker's finally going to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jaquan Brisker. And we still have Kevin Byard. So, I mean, he's reliable,
Yeah.
but, you know.
No, dude, that defense could really be scary. I think it's going to. I'll be honest. I really do think. My question is, will all these signings be enough for them? And I really do think it will be. And you also look.
I do wish.
Oh, sorry. You keep going.
Oh, sorry.
No,
So if it were up to me, Jeannie asked me for a wish, right?
Yep,
For the Bears, the one more thing that I want to add on defense is an edge rusher.
Yeah.
I like the signing of Deo, but I want, in a perfect world, let's go out and get somebody that's getting a ton of sacks this season to opposite Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
Hey man, if we want to put all of our chips on the table, there's some contract troubles over there in Dallas.
Go get that dog from Dallas. Bro.
If we want to go invest,
go get him from that.
If we want to go all in on Caleb, Ben Johnson, and this team right now, go get Micah Parsons.
Dude, oh my!
It's out there. I know it's probably not happening.
No,
but
that would be crazy.
We'd probably be a top 3 defense.
Yeah. I'd say pretty easily, to be honest. I really do think that. Yeah, that'd be crazy. I really do think that all this should be enough for at least to end the season and be like, okay, this was a productive season. Like, this was a step. And I really do think that they are going to show that step this year. I mean, we didn't even talk about. They drafted Colston Loveland, the 10th overall pick, and then you got Luther
who has
Burden in
been
the second.
Colston Loveland, who has been taking tight end 1 reps from Cole Kmet.
How do you feel about that?
I love Cole Kmet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Cole Kmet guy.
I am too.
I thought he's awesome, and I couldn't believe we didn't use him last year.
Mm-hmm.
But if Colston Loveland's taking reps from a guy like that, that tells me Colston Loveland's the real deal.
Dude,
I liked Loveland at Michigan.
Mm-hmm. I do have to ask,
but
Loveland or Warren?
So I do have to say that
at
the time of the draft, I was shocked when we didn't take Warren.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I started to think about it, to me, Warren's a tight end 1. He's a prototypical tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But Loveland's more of a receiving tight end. So when I was starting to think about it like that, I was like, okay, it makes sense that this was the case because we have Cole Kmet. We're probably going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. Mm-hmm. But then you look at training camp, and Loveland's taking reps from Kmet, and Kmet's the second guy. So that shocks me on its own right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I really don't know what to think of it.
I think Loveland's going to be great there. I think Ben Johnson just got his Sam Laporta. So I really do think like that he's going to be a beast there. I got him in, when did I draft him? They had drafted him in the 11th or 12th round in the Scott Fish Bowl. I got Loveland. And I was very happy about that because I really do think he's going to be a dog.
I do think there's a chance we trade Kmet.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I would like to keep both of them because the more talent, the better, But I see a world where we trade Kmet and get some value out of him, maybe a 4th or a 3rd round pick if we're lucky. But I can really see us getting rid of Kmet, which sucks because he's a Notre Dame guy, which means he's a Bears fan.
Mm-hmm.
You love to have people like that on your team.
Nah, man, I'm right there with you. I loved Kmet. So, man, to wrap up our dark horse segment here, how many games did the Bears win?
So, as a Bears fan, I want to say 12. I want to say 12 or 13, which, in my opinion, is not happening. To me, a successful season is not the playoffs. I would love the playoffs, and my goal is the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But a successful season to me is an 8-win season.
Yeah, I do.
And I know my expectations are lower than most people, but I like to be more realistic with the Bears. We have not been a good team. We have struggled to get 4 wins over the last couple of years. Yeah. We're bringing in a whole new regime, a bunch of new players. If we get 8 or 9 wins, and we are competitive in our losses, I will take that.
Yeah.
I would love to make the playoffs, but I will take a competitive 8-win season.
Dude,
as long as we're hanging in there every game, trading blows with the teams like the Eagles, the Commanders, the Ravens, the Bengals, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. As long as you're just in those games, You just don't want to see.
I'm tired of getting blown out.
I was just about to say, you just don't want to keep seeing scores 30-14. You just want to, as long as they're close with the good teams. I really do think that is a step, and I'm right there with you. I was going to say 9. I really think it's going to be 8 to 9 wins. So I'm glad we're
I
we're
think
right.
floor is 7 wins,
Yep.
ceiling's 12.
Yeah, man. And then that wraps it up for me, man. So I'll recap my teams real quick. So I think my dark horse Super Bowl team, like I said, a lot of things need to go right for this, but I think the Raiders have the pieces to do it. And then my 2 dark horse playoff teams, the Patriots and the Bears.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of those. I like all 3. The Raiders is obviously the lowest, but it's a dark horse for a reason. And then, again, to recap for me, I've got the Jaguars to not only make the playoffs, so win the South. I've got the Panthers, again, to not only make the playoffs, but win the South. And then I could see the Broncos making a push for the Super Bowl if everything goes right their way in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think those are some great picks as well.
All right, so we are going to have to scrap the awards segment this week. We did want to get into it, but we're kind of getting crunched on time. We don't want it to run too long. So next week, look out for our award predictions. That is going to be what's going to be featured next week, the main segment for next week. So lastly, we just wanted to get into the, like I said, we've got NFL football this week, people.
Finally,
we've got the NFL HOF Game. It's about damn time, man. I was tired of the offseason. I love the offseason, but I'm ready to see some actual football, even though it's preseason. It's still something.
It's something, man. I'll take anything at this point. Give me the Bears Seahawks game at this point, man. I just want to see some football.
Brutal game. Didn't need to remind me, but
dude, that's just how desperate I am to watch some football right now, man.
But we just wanted to go through a couple players that we're excited to see play. So I've got 4 guys that I'm excited to see here. I've got Isaac Tesla from the Lions. I put a lot of stock into this guy in fantasy. I've heard great things, not only coming out of the draft, but in camp. I think he's going to be a very underrated guy. Might even slip in and take Tim Patrick's spot in this offense. I think Hendon Hooker's another guy that I want to see play. I think it's now or never, essentially, with seeing something from Hendon Hooker. He's, I believe, 27 years old, which for a second-year player is not what you want to hear.
Yeah, it's up there.
I think if he's going to be the guy after Goff, we got to find out quick, because he doesn't have time on his side. Another guy who just got announced he was starting today is Trey Lance. And Trey Lance is a guy who we've been screaming potential since he got drafted. Was at number 3 overall by San Francisco.
Yep, very high.
I don't know if I'm still there with the potential, but I want to see if something is there. I think his confidence is long gone, and that's kind of why every time we see him, he just doesn't look like what we thought he was.
Yeah.
I do think it's safe to call him a bust at this point.
Yeah, no,
but if Geno Smith has taught us anything,
dude, seriously,
you don't have to write back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my thing with Lance, it's just like, I mean, you tell me if you feel different here. I just feel like for a 3rd overall pick, did we see him enough?
We're reaching Jamarcus Russell territories,
right?
With Trey Lance.
Dude, I feel like I've just barely seen the guy play ball. Like, I've barely seen him.
I know.
I mean, yes, there's probably a reason for that. But I
couldn't believe when Dallas got him that we didn't see him. We saw Cooper Rush.
Dude, that was crazy.
I really thought that was his time. That was his moment to almost like the Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith moment.
But
when
if he can't beat out Cooper
Smith
Rush,
was injured, then man,
and
he's not beating out Justin. What if Herbert?
Yeah, dude. Literally, it's just it's like dude. I don't know. Hopefully, he tears it up on Thursday.
Yes, I'll be rooting for him. I always root for the underdogs, man.
Exactly.
The last guy that I want to get into here, I'm probably gonna butcher his name because I be honest, I don't know a ton about him, but I don't like the tight end position over there in Los Angeles. I don't think the Chargers have great tight ends on the roster, so I think this guy, Arande Gadsden II, might have butchered that. I apologize if I do. Out of Illinois, I think he's a guy to watch because there's just. It almost feels like, that brass strap's there to grab. He can grab that and steal that starting job here in the preseason and training camp. That's what it's for ultimately.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think those are some great players to watch for on Thursday because, I mean, this Hall of Fame game, it really comes down to like some roster spots for these players. So they really do need to just
I didn't even realize that it was Thursday. I thought it was Friday this whole time.
Dude, we're 2 days away, man. We are right there.
Oh, man. I can't wait.
Dude, I know. And then let me start getting into why I'm very excited to watch this game. Because I'll be very honest, I don't know why these two are playing, but for some reason, Marion Hampton and Trey Harris are playing. And I don't care if they play for a drive, bro. I want to see them. like, I think both of those two are going to be very big pieces into the offense this year. And now that we get to see them in a random July game, not random, but a football game in July.
It feels like random.
Yeah. It's just, I can't believe they're playing. So I am just so excited to see both of these two. Mainly Hampton, because he is really the big what-if piece for fantasy. I mean, we saw Najee, I don't know what fireworks he was blowing up by his eyes, but we don't know when that guy's playing. And if Amari has this dude, okay, actually, yeah, let's talk about that. What the heck?
What the hell is happening with the pirate over there at Najee Harris?
What was that? I saw a picture of him. He was at the training camp, hoodie up, and that dude had the biggest sunglasses on because he doesn't want to see anybody seeing his eyes. So, like, I just don't understand that. It was all a rumor.
I feel like they're not letting on how bad it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they don't know when he's coming back. So
no, not at all.
And
that's why I was a guy who was not in on him. Like before O'Marion Hampton got drafted, I was in on him in fantasy.
Yeah.
But once he got drafted to the Chargers,
dude,
I completely didn't draft him in any dynasty leagues. I moved off of everything. But now you're looking at the situation and you're thinking it's looking a lot better than it was supposed to. Now I'm in on him. If it's a single year, fantasy league,
yeah,
I'm probably drafting him.
No, dude, I'm right there with you because I'll be honest, before this eye injury that he's having, I was I'm telling you, man, I do so many mock drafts. I love fantasy, so I do so many mock drafts, and I have not drafted Hampton one time. Literally once. It's just I believe that Najee is a good enough player to eat into his workload all year long.
And I also think it's the fact that it's a Harbaugh offense.
Exactly.
He loves to run that football, man.
He does love.
That's
to run
his
that
bread
ball.
and butter is pounding that rock, and he likes to switch his backs out.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
The guy that scares me is Kamani Vidal.
Yep.
I think that he could take some reps from Hampton here, especially with Najee Harris, who knows what is going on with him. I could see Vidal taking some reps here, but I still think Hampton's got RB1 potential in fantasy.
Dude, I really do think now. Here was my thing with Hampton. When Najee was healthy, obviously I just said I thought he was going to tear or like go into his workload a bit. I'm talking Najee to Hampton's workload. But I believe that it was just a matter of time before that switch happened. Because Hampton is going to show right when he touches that ball that he is more talented than Najee Harris. They're going to, I think
I've been a Najee guy.
Yeah, like, I do.
But he's just not.
He's not Hampton. I'm sorry, but
he's good.
Exactly. He's good, but
he's
Hampton
a reliable low
insane.
1,000-yard, high 900 guy.
Exactly. And
like you just said, Hampton could be,
dude,
he could be up there in terms of skill level. He could be that 1,500 yards a season guy.
Dude, like literally, like just a fantasy superstar if he gets this main workload. And I think now I was a firm believer that Hampton was going to turn it up the second half of the year. But now, if Najee's already dealing with this dude, man, he could just be literally a league winner, just sitting in whatever, like 4th, 5th round that he's getting drafted in right now.
100%.
So we'll see 100%. With him. We'll see with him. Trey Harris, very excited for him. I think I've already been seeing clips of him in training camp. I think he's going to be a beast. Not too worried about that, to be honest. It'll just be cool to see him, I think, in this game for a little bit. But the person I really wanted to talk about is Keandre Lambert-Smith, the 5th-round receiver, 4 years at Penn State, senior year with Auburn. Now, he has a very, very interesting opportunity because Mike Williams just decided to retire for just out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere. So Keandre can really step up and carve himself out a role in this offense. And it's just, I mean, the 5th round, he's 5th rounder, and he's just been such a early standout for the Chargers in training camp so far, man. It's just, I really think that with Williams gone, Smith has the size and the speed. He's 6'1", and he ran a 4.37. He got some wheels on him. So I really do think
also think when you look at Quentin Johnston, I mean,
I mean,
what's to say with Quentin Johnson?
exactly.
I think he still has heaps of potential, but he really reminds me of like a rookie second year Jerry Jeudy in a way of that he can get open, but he's just dropping the ball like crazy, man, and you can't have that in the NFL.
No.
So maybe Johnson eventually turns it around, but I think he's the guy on the chopping block. I think it's McConkey and Harris as wide receiver 1 and 2.
Agreed.
Maybe Johnston to start. But I think if Lambert Smith's going to carve out a role outside of being wide receiver 4, it's going to be taking that spot from Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, man, I'm literally right in the same boat with you. So I really do think, I don't know how I feel about Quentin Johnson, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, it's just, you saw what happened last year, so it's just, I don't know how much I want to deal with that. But I mean, Keandre here, man, he has the size and the speed to really be the field stretcher for an offense that's been struggling to find that role for, I feel like, years now.
Yes. It really years. And they've got the offensive line to buy that time to have that guy go down the field like that. So it's the perfect offense for someone like him. Yeah,
man, I'm right there with you, man. So basically to recap who I'm looking for in this Hall of Fame game, I need to see McLaurin, please bust out a 60-yard touchdown run on the first carry. You will just set Twitter or X on fire with that. So really looking forward to Hampton. Really looking forward to Trey Harris. And lastly, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Keandre could do.
I know there's some guys to look out for in this one. But yeah, I think that's going to do it from us for this one, man. So I appreciate everyone that's tuning into this for our first episode. We know it's, we might ramble on a bit. We'll do this as we do more episodes.
We'll get it down.
So tune in next week. We will go through our award predictions. We'll probably have a little bit more in store for you. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.